In this example, we are going to build a very simple application that updates the document title when the button is clicked. So, we are going to mimic the component did mount and the component did update. Quickly within the component directory, let's create a new package called useEffect practice. Command B to open up the Explorer. Right click on component, new folder. Right within the useEffect practice, we are going to create a new component called effectexample1.js. Generate the functional component. So let's forget about the side effect for now and let's create a simple counter application. Quickly import the useState hook. Let's declare the necessary state variable to be used. The initial state is going to be a number, and in this case, it's going to be 0. Right within the body, we have to display the count, and then we are going to have a button, and on click of this button, we are going to update the initial state. So I'm just going to do click, and here we have to specify the on click. So on click, we are going to call the setCount function. And right within the parameter, we are going to take in the initial state plus the new update. Save, open up the app component, and let's have it rendered over here. So we are going to import effect example1 from component / useEffect practice / effect example1. And right here, let's place a comment on this. Let's render the effect example1. Save on the browser, and boom. Alright, everything is working perfectly fine. Can you see? Okay, let me do something beautiful. Let's customize this application. So I just have to remove the click right within the inner HTML, and I'm going to indicate with the plus sign. Save on the browser, and boom. Look more beautiful like this. I love it. Let's zoom up a little bit. Okay, this is cool. The intention of this lecture is to update the document title when the button is clicked. Let's do that by implementing the useEffect. To implement the useEffect, first, we have to import it. The useEffect is also a function, so we have to invoke it. Come here, and I'm going to do useEffect. The useEffect hooks accept a function as an argument, which gets executed after the component renders. And this is going to be an arrow function. So the function that is passed as an argument right within the useEffect hook function is called the effect. Okay, so we refer to this function as effect. So right within the effect, we are going to update the document title. Document.title equal, let's indicate with the backtick, and I'm going to do you clicked count times. So we are simply passing the count right here. Okay, when you save and go back to the browser, all right, let's click on the plus button. Do you see? When you observe carefully, you will realize that the title is updated. When I click, can you see? Now it says you clicked 2 times. I hope you can see that. Alright, so initially the document title reads 0 times. So when we click on the button, it is going to cause the component to re-render. And after the component renders, the useEffect hook will get called. Click, can you see? And now we have you clicked 1 time. Click again, you clicked 2 times. And just like that. So whenever I click on the button, the state is updated and the component will re-render. When the component re-renders, this will cause the useEffect hook to get fired up, and then the document title will change to the updated count value. So this simply implies the useEffect hook gets called after the component renders. So now we can say that the behavior of this application is exactly as expected. Let me explain to you what happens under the hood. To cause side effect in functional component, first, we have to import the useEffect hook. The useEffect hook is a function. We have to invoke it. So after that, we are going to pass a function as an argument right within the useEffect function. So right inside the effect, we set the document title using the document title browser API. So whatever you have here within this anonymous function is going to get called after the component renders. So when React renders our component, it will remember the effect we used, okay? And then run our effect after updating the DOM. This happened for every render, including the first one. Take note of these key points. Point number 1. The useEffect runs after every render. Point number 2. useEffect is defined inside the component, and by so doing, we will get access to the state and props without having to write any extra code. And that was why we were able to access the document title. To recap, whenever you want to make use of the useEffect, you have to import it from React module. After the import, you have to call it right within the component, like this. So right inside the function, we are going to take in an arrow function as an argument. So right within the arrow function is where the transformation takes place. So after the component renders, this function would get called. This is all for now, and see you in the next lecture.